to Digital Dots Online. It is your host with the most, Digital Don here, and we're going to be talking about one of our featured clusters today, which is architecture and construction. If you like building things in general, if you are a big Legos fan in a weird sense, just think of Legos but in a grown-up sense, in which you can make money for, as well as create plans to basically build upon the plans that you're making. Pretty cool, right? So we're going to get into basically a briefing of what this is, and we will touch upon our other segments in a little bit. So let's get started. Ooh! Alright, so let's get into basically what's the hype about architecture and construction? Why should I do this? What will I gain or get out of a field like this? Oh, honestly, a lot. Alright, when you are the grandmaster or the grand builder in Legoland terms, alright, basically folks, architecture and construction is not just necessarily building, but there are other things that pretty much are in the same family of building that can come together and make a structure like a house. For instance, when you think of a house and when you look at a house, you see pretty much the outside and you see the many materials and machines and all these things to come and put this thing together like Voltron. But within that whole field, you need your electricians, you need your plumbers, you need the people to come out and measure things out as far as where to put the granite tile and where to hang certain light fixtures at. I mean, all this stuff is in the umbrella of architecture and construction. So, simply put, within this field, if you're good with your hands, if you're good with moving around and putting stuff together, and if you are very keen on measurements, and let me be honest here, math is a huge component of this. If you're really good at certain things like this, I think a field like this would be awesome. It would be awesome. All right. So we're going to touch more upon the more essential aspects of this within our next segment. But I just want to comment just very quickly that if you get into a cluster like this, especially for the active body that wants to try out new projects and go in and pretty much use their hands and move around, I think a field like this would be for you. Oh, and I forgot to mention map! Yes, map making. Now I know that we are in the millennial generation where you guys don't even know what a map. What's a map? What is that? It sounds simple. Can you please elaborate what this is? Well, kids and adults alike that still act like kids, a long time ago, we didn't have the luxury of having GPS, all right? GPS has changed the game, y'all. Pretty much you type in your destination, and this robotic voice, all right, like Siri, will guide you in the longest way possible to reach your destination. But back then, before MapQuest, which you guys don't even know what that is, before all of that, we had to go off of the land. So believe it or not, there are people that still do map making, but in a different way. In a different way can be in the arts of CAD and SketchUp, which I will have lessons upon that later on. But nonetheless, all right, a map for most of us is basically going around the area. You don't need a plane to necessarily get this these days. Have to, on the computer, put the landmarks, put the roads, put what building is, where at, where certain things like hospitals and police stations and all this stuff. Believe it or not, folks, even though it seems like we all have this technology where we can type in things in the GPS and we can find them, believe it or not, there's still a good portion of Americans that not only don't have this, People like my mom, love you mama, they still don't understand the whole concept of GPS. So people like my mother still uses MapQuest and still uses actual maps to find out where they need to be. So all I'm saying is that is another big component of this is map making. It's huge. And these days we have 3D mapping, which is, I think, even more funner than really what the basic drafting used to be. If you look at Google Earth or just Google Maps in general, where you see pretty much a panoramic view and you can go down the streets, that's basically what that is. So that is another thing that you can do, folks. So I should throw that in there. So let's take a look at our virtual video, then we'll cover our notes, and then we'll be on to the next cluster. So once again, this is Digital Don here. If you need to ask me questions, let's go. Hey, it's virtual video time. Let's start off with our first video, folks. This is obviously an old school intro to basically what I've been talking about. Of course, I can talk to you all day, but after a while, I bore myself with it. So let's take a look at what these guys have to offer from an old school view.
For people who like to be active all day, who like to take their skills to new challenges in constantly changing locations, the construction industry has an array of attractive jobs. You might work for a small construction company, or for the government maintaining highways, or a big corporation. Some construction workers are highly specialized and hire themselves out as freelancers, doing their particular piece of a large project. Some jobs require technical training, while others require apprenticeships. Other trades can be learned through unions or at vocational schools. Some, such as an architect, require a college degree. An architect draws on advanced degrees and creativity to design a skyscraper that can withstand an earthquake. To go into business for yourself, some knowledge of accounting and business practices can be a big help. These courses can be taken at local community or business colleges. An advantage of working for large construction companies, government, or unions is that you can obtain health and pension benefits. Whether you take a job installing drywall or operating a bulldozer, a job in construction requires the ability to do things precisely. These jobs tend to be very physical, but they also call for great care. From a skyscraper to a superhighway or a communication connection, the strength of the finished product is in the details. Working conditions vary widely. Cable installers find themselves in all kinds of homes and need to be able to interact with customers. So do painters, paper hangers, and other workers whose finished product must please the homeowner. Construction workers also must be able to get along with each other. Many projects include teams of specialized workers who may or may not know each other. Getting the job done requires give and take. It's a collaboration that often calls for communication across language barriers. Often the work takes you outside in the heat of a summer day or winter's cold. Roofers, pipe fitters, structural iron workers, and other construction workers are often exposed to extreme conditions. Precautions must be taken to avoid injury. This is a field that can leave you with aches and pains after a work week filled with bending, carrying, kneeling, and other physically demanding tasks. Seeing a job through to a successful completion, though, can be very satisfying. So can being in demand when you're known for doing your job well.
All right. So I know that this isn't the career cluster per se, but we're going to kind of dive into a construction management position. These guys will tell you what they do on a day-to-day basis, just for a little intro, so you can know what you're getting yourself into. So I co-sign this matter. Let's take a look and see what these guys have to offer you.
Construction management as a whole is just managing the overall process of it, from project development, where the owner's deciding what they want to build, and then we're there through the duration of construction. It's unique in that we deal with the design team, which is composed of architects and engineers, and then we also deal with the subcontractors.
It's kind of an orchestra that we kind of try to conduct to make sure everybody's kind of on the same page.
The key responsibilities that we have as construction managers are making sure the project's delivered on time and on budget. In the company, we tend to differentiate into either project engineers or project superintendents. Project engineers basically work on the paperwork side of the business.
I'm tracking everything for the owner on paper. So if they didn't have me, then we wouldn't be able to track the proper materials or that the architect has specified are on site. Any of the questions that the contractors have, I make sure that the architect's answering them.
The superintendent side, they're the ones that are actually out in the field, coordinating with the field staff.
Contractors come out here and they're getting ready to put it in, and if they're confused, it's our job to make sure that any questions that they have are clarified.
The architect communicates to us what he wants, we communicate that to the subcontractor, and then any questions in between, we're solving those problems or going back to the design team saying, hey, that can't work. I enjoyed math and science, and I loved building things, just having a hands-on type of approach. And construction management was the thing that kind of tied all those together.
Nothing stays the same, it's always moving, very dynamic.
I remember when I was little, I used to stare at houses and say, how is that built? And just the unique ways that buildings are built.
Well, the construction industry as a whole is driven through STEM. Science, we're dealing with physics, the way different loads work with gravity. Technology, the industry is really getting technology driven, utilizing 3D modeling software. Engineering-wise, we use it on a daily basis. Math, we use measurements all the time, calculating square footage, yardage, volume, area. For life in general, I think any type of STEM curriculum or STEM course is beneficial for your life.
I went to the University of Cincinnati. I started out in architectural engineering and decided that I liked more of the building and management side versus the design side.
Through school, you learn the general trades, different mechanical systems, electrical, plumbing. You just have a general knowledge, not diving into the specifics too much.
Through co-ops and my opportunities to work with Turner Construction Company, I was able to get hired full-time because of the learning experiences that I gained working for Turner. And a co-op is actually a learning opportunity. Instead of the classroom, you actually go to the job sites, you go to work on a daily basis, and they pay you.
So I started working and co-oping in construction companies and ended up with Turner.
Construction kind of has that connotation of dirty, hands-on labor work, but it's a business.
I came to work for Turner straight out of school as a field engineer. I actually worked on a job site day to day with the trade contractors, coordinating the work that went in place. I also had roles as what I would call project engineer, doing all the paperwork. From there, I moved on to leadership roles on large projects. I was the project manager of a $100 million hospital expansion.
A typical project would last between 18 to 24 months, which offers you a quick turnaround time, if you think about it, of a project. So you're seeing, in the life of your career, a bunch of different projects that you've been involved in. When I started at Turner, I was a field engineer, which means you're just out assisting the superintendent, primarily focused on maybe one or two trades, maybe watching the concrete guy. Currently, I'm in a cost engineer role where I oversee a portfolio of projects and just focus on the financial or cost aspect of it to make sure every dollar is accounted for. You can see a piece of dirt come into this huge, magnificent, tall structure that'll be there for years to come. You can take family and friends to see it.
Literally, if you miss a day of work, you've missed a lot of work that's been put up.
Our day is spent primarily problem solving.
And that's the fun of our business, is once you get everybody kind of doing the same thing and working on to the right goal and getting that piece in place, there's the real reward in what we do.
It's ever-changing. There's something always evolving, new ways of doing things, new types of materials to work with. It pays well.
We're managing the conversations between the architect, the engineer, and the person who's actually putting it in.
I mean, we're building buildings. I think that's a pretty neat thing to do. It's a huge art project if you were to think of it that way.
I'm extremely important.
I love my job. It's awesome.
All right, you guys like exotic houses? I know I do. Now, a lot of these things, well, not even things, a lot of these houses you'll probably never own in your life, including myself, but at the same time, you can respect the people that afforded these houses as well as that built them. So here are 10 crazy houses that were actually built, that were actually referenced from shows and other ideals from the entertainment industry.
Sometimes a cartoon is just so good, it has to be brought to life. Here are 10 real houses inspired by cartoons. Number 10, The Simpsons House. Way back in July 1997, Fox had an incredible promotional idea: to build a full-sized, livable replica of 742 Evergreen Terrace from The Simpsons, and then give it away to one lucky viewer. The $120,000 house was constructed for use as the grand size prize in a contest sponsored by Pepsi, Fox, and the home builder. The contest was known as the Simpsons House Giveaway. The outrageous cartoon color scheme is now gone. This real-life Simpsons house is actually located at 712 Red Bark Lane in Henderson, Nevada. Number 9. Up House. Built in Herriman, Utah, this 1950s-style home was painstakingly designed to resemble Carl and Ellie's from Disney's Up. From the weather vane at the top of the house, all the way down to the floorboards. Bangor Builders received permission from the Walt Disney Company to build the house on the condition that only one of the homes will be constructed. The house was sold to private buyers in January of 2012. Number 8. SpongeBob's House. There's a small building that's been modeled to look exactly like a pineapple, though it isn't under the sea. The home is located in Nambar and is a bit of a popular tourist attraction because it looks exactly like SpongeBob's home. Number 7. Barbie's House. The world's first ever life-size replicas of the Plastic Toys Malibu Beach House allows Barbie's most ardent admirers to live out their girlish fantasies in the sprawling dollhouse. Every little girl's dream of inhabiting the world of the all-American doll can now become a reality in the interactive experience. The dream house was built in less than a year, using more than 200 pounds of glitter and 100 gallons of pink paint. Number 6. Flintstones House. This fascinating stone house, pictured in Nas Montanas de Faf in Portugal, looks like the perfect place for the Flintstones to live. Like most contemporary homes, it has a front door, roof, and selection of windows, while the huge spherical boulder on the uphill side of the house and scoop-shaped end give it that prehistoric Flintstones feel. Number 5. Hobbit's House. Fed up with huge mortgage payments, Simon Dale decided to take matters into his own hands, literally. Armed with only a chisel, a chainsaw, and a hammer, the 32-year-old moved his family to a hillside in Wales and started digging. The result is a wooden eco-home, constructed in 4 months and costing just £3,000, which would look perfectly at ease alongside a Hobbit house in The Lord of the Rings. Number 4. Hello Kitty's House. The Hello Kitty Castle, which opened in a Taiwanese resort in 2009, is a tribute to the Japanese anime character that has a bit of a cult following all over the world. The pinked-out palace is decorated in head-to-toe kitty, including details such as Hello Kitty wallpaper and cushions. Many sources say the castle is in Shanghai, but it is in fact located in Taiwan. Number 3. The Jetsons House. Perhaps the most difficult cartoon house to create is the Jetsons House, which is actually located in outer space. There isn't an exact replica of the Jetsons' home yet, but the design was based on mid-century modern homes located in California. The base model for the home was that of the same house used in the film North by Northwest. Sadly, the home is not available to actual tenants. Number 2. Star Wars-inspired house. Looking at this house, you might think it's located in a galaxy far, far away, because it looks like the Millennium Falcon. But the space-age house isn't part of the Star Wars world. It's found in Australia. Owing to its big battleship grey colour and unusual shape, the stunning 4-bedroom property called Alkira has attracted comparisons to the iconic movie Spaceship, and it does bear a stark resemblance to Han Solo's legendary craft. Number 1. Minnie Mouse's House. Minnie has not one but two houses that exist in real life. The Disney company created both houses, one in Disneyland and the other in Disney World. Sadly, the Disney World version is no longer available to the public, but the Disneyland one is. And although these houses are not lived in by real people, it's still worth mentioning, because Mickey and Minnie Mouse are one of the most original cartoons to date. What was your favorite?
Alright, so to have fun with this, you might be a builder for one of these crazy houses. I'm talking 24-car garage, alright, 10 bathrooms where you can use the restroom all day if you wanted to, 10 kitchens. I mean, the opportunities is endless when you have endless amount of money. I wouldn't advise putting all your money into that, but hey, some people, they got money to blow. So let's take a look at this specific news story and see how that all ties into, well, really, what I've been talking about.
All right, I love Mondays.
You do?
Yeah, because
of this,
because
right?
Cool House,
okay.
and it makes me want to redo everything or find a way to, strike it rich and buy a house like this.
But our dream.
We can dream,
Yes.
exactly. So this week's School House, we're going to the home of a former Major League Baseball player.
Not only is the home huge, it's really set up for fun and games and entertaining and kids, and Celeste went out there to check it out.
Everyone, we're here to chat about today's School House. This is Michelle. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
We were in the West Valley this morning. What a spectacular pad this is.
Yeah, it's awesome. This house is over 10,500 square feet, and it actually sits on about 8.5 acres of land.
And then upstairs, you obviously want to keep the kids at bay.
Absolutely.
But close enough.
Absolutely. They have a lot of fun doing puppet shows up there. It's a good time for them. Yeah, it's like a hidden refrigerator. Well, there's a freezer side. Celeste could fit in it.
It fits right in. It looks like a piece of furniture.
With a 19-car garage fit for a Major League Baseball team, a former big leaguer's home is fit with plenty of room to entertain.
On 8.9 acres, you have to imagine it's going to be a playground for a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And actually we have right over here the full playground, actually a school. They were doing plans and they decided not to build the school, and the owner actually purchased this from the company, and they were able to actually put it into their backyard.
That is so amazing. It has to be so much fun. You have the basketball court.
Yes, full-size basketball courts, also a full-size volleyball court as well. And the grass that we're actually standing on is actually artificial grass. Right next to the trampoline, there's actually a sponge underneath the ground to actually help if you bounce a little too hard.
Oh yeah, kind of give you a little bit of a cushion.
A little cushion there.
Yeah, and it helps keep you cool when you have all these misters out here. But the swimming pool, I gotta tell you, that is amazing.
Oh yeah, we are able to actually hang out there, and it has a lazy river, jacuzzi, jets in it, and with the slide, of course, you can definitely have fun back here.
And the pirate ship.
And the pirate ship. I don't know how I forgot about the pirate ship. That's kind of the best part for me.
If you want to look like a superhero, I'm guessing you have to work out like one, Charles.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this is the gym where, being a former baseball player, that this is where, he stays in shape. It's actually right behind the movie theater and just next door to the craft room.
Now tell me about the movie theater. This is perfect for movie night.
Oh yeah, you have your great seating downstairs with the bar actually to the side. And upstairs you have a little loft where you can actually kick back and relax and kind of be apart.
Speaking of sneaking away, the kids have their own wing with personalized bedrooms.
This mural is the owner's, one of his favorite parts of the home.
Absolutely. He had this custom painted for his son, and they absolutely love it.
This bed right here is so unique. What a great idea for a little boy. Look at these tires.
Oh yeah, you're ready to take a ride.
Speaking of tires, this very unique staircase to the loft, which is a special part of the home.
It is. It's actually in all the children's bedrooms, and they connect when you get upstairs there. So the kids have a bunch of fun, not only in their bedroom, but in their lofts.
Those bedroom lofts each connect so kids can travel from room to room. From Batman to Marvel and Princess Aurora, there's no beauty sleep here. Only fun to be had in this cool house.
I want to be Bri. Can I be Bri?
Seriously?
Little boy?
Yeah.
Bri's garage, Bri's this, Bri's
His
Maserati.
wing in the house.
Bri's spot, all decked out. How nice is that? So,
That was beautiful.
Very cool house. Good job,
Wow.
Okay, you guys, take out your pencils and pens, and let's get to this. So, career pathways. Basically, you have 3 of them here. You have design and pre-construction, construction, and maintenance and operations. All right, this pretty much deals with 3D modeling, rather it's in any type of CAD software. In SketchUp, you have the construction of it, rather it's a miniature model, and you have the maintenance of it. So basically all the cleanup that comes with it. Now, what you need out of college, basically, this is not an easy field to get into, but just little bullet points here. Bachelor's of Architecture, 5 years. Master's of Architecture, 2 to 4 years, mainly 4 years from my research. And a Doctor's of Architecture if you really need that. I mean, obviously, by all means, go get it, but certifications is key. If you have all of your certifications aligned, you'll be able to do pretty much anything you want. Accredited schools, all right? We have Prairie View A&M University, Rice University, Texas A&M University, University of Houston, University of Texas at Arlington, University of Austin, Texas Tech University, and University of San Antonio. Job market, man. It's a boom in this one, folks. Pretty much there are, and I quote, 105 different careers, which is a lot. 50 majors, which all tie into those careers, and 6 mainstream industries in which you can join. Guys, this is a big deal because once you get done with all the paperwork and you pass all of your tests, it is a guarantee. I would say a good 90% guarantee that if you have all of your ducks aligned, you will find some type of work in architecture. Okay, which leads to our last thing, all right, which is your pay. Now, you guys, if you're working on bridges and skyscrapers and all this dangerous activity, they're gonna have to pay you. So, I mean, this spans from maintenance all the way to pretty much the construction itself. You get paid a pretty hefty lump sum. So, does this mean that then everybody starts off at 70? No. But a median out of 104 careers, this is what I got. And let me tell you something, folks. This is good money. So, this is Digital Don here, and let's go on ahead and go to our last sequence. Hey! You guys made it to the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed your digital tips. This is Digital Don here, and I'm signing off. Hope you guys got a lot out of this cluster. Hope you guys took some valuable notes, as well as seen some pretty informational video that's going to help you on your journey. Now, there are 10 other career paths you can choose from. So I will have those descriptions in these boxes. Choose one, and it'll take you to another path. And once you find that path, guess what, folks? There's going to be playlists of literal jobs or job clusters that you can check out. Rather it's 50 or 100 of them, you will have choices to look at those options and see, okay, I like this career path. Now, what career do I want to do? That's not a bad gig, is it? So drop a like if you guys support what I'm doing. That actually helps. If you don't like what I'm doing, just go to another channel. Nobody cares about your opinion anyway. What? I'm just being honest. So it's Digital Don here. You can always reach me at DigitalDon_CTE, and I'm signing off. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys, and hopefully you'll be back. See you guys. Take care.